Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the December 19th Daily Inspirational Message, the condensed version. It's 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments in the message. And if you find the message of use, please be so kind as to like, comment, or share, or even become a subscriber. Thank you for that. Here we go. The title, Turning Condemnation into Compassion. Paragraph 1. Today, let us elevate our life in the world by making the past target of our condemnation the present recipient of our compassion. In this time of Christmas and other religious holidays, let us be charitable enough to offer ourselves the opportunities to find peace in areas of our life that have been calling out for healing. As God's child and creation, aren't we worthy of peace? Being all one, aren't we all worthy of peace? When we withhold peace from another, we fail to experience it ourselves. God is love, who in truth we are. Forgiveness and compassion are 2 expressions of that love. When we choose compassion over condemnation, we're choosing God's guidance over the ego's judgment-centric programs. Today, one with our source, let us humbly allow compassionate thoughts, words, and actions to lead the way. Paragraph 2. Today, if the ego demands that you condemn yourself or another, let that trigger you to remember that today's goal is to offer compassion to everyone you think of and meet. The more you decide to offer compassion over condemnation, the more natural and normal this choice and behavior becomes. The more compassionate you become, the more peace you will experience. Now you can see that those in your life are simply offering you the opportunities to choose compassion and thus to be at peace. Would gratitude not be the appropriate response to these individuals? By their presence in your life, are they not helping you awaken to, are they not helping you awaken to who you are in truth? Today, your compassionate choices signal to you that you're inviting God's love to bless and flow through you and throughout your day. Right. Turning condemnation into compassion. I want to make 5 points today that I trust will assist you in your journey. First, let us remember we have the free will to allow whatever it is that's within us to live within us, okay? So if you think of your present or your past, and you're holding on to some condemnation in regards to somebody in your present or past, where do you think that condemnation is living? It might be directed to somebody else, but it's living within you. It's veiling your true light. And the idea today is to let those veils, release those veils of condemnation through the act of forgiveness or compassion, and thus to become the light of the world that you came here to be. And so let us, in the first point, remember that and thank those who we hold condemnation towards, because they're showing us that we're holding something in us that does not belong within us. So thank you, brother X or Y, for helping me see that I was holding on to this judgment and anger that does not belong within me. Thank you for that. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is throughout the day, remind yourself what you're here to do and who you were created to be, the light of the world in your own unique way. And so to become that, you have to first heal your heart and your mind so that you can see through love's lens. Not through the ego's judgment-centered lens, but through love's lens. And so remind yourself throughout the day, okay, I'm here and I was created to be the light of the world. To do that, I need to let go of this condemnation, of this judgment, of this resentment. And so let me practice that today. Let me heal my own heart and mind so that I can see the world through love's lens instead of through the ego's past programmings, judgment-centered, fear-based programmings. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is to remember that we're all one. And so if you keep forgiveness from others, guess what? You keep peace from yourself. When you offer forgiveness to others, you receive peace yourself. And so just remember throughout the day that we're all one. And so if you're punishing somebody else, guess what? You're punishing yourself too. But if you're freeing somebody else through the act of forgiveness, through the act of compassion, through the act of grace, guess who is released from those negative, judgmental emotions? You. You are set free. And so today, remembering that we're all one, we also remember that we can set ourselves free. We have the power. The power is not out there somewhere. It's within you. That's point number 3. Point number 4 is to remember throughout the day, okay, am I focused on condemnation or am I focused on compassion? And that helps you see whose guidance you're following. If you're focusing on compassion, which is an expression of love, you're following God's guidance, love's guidance. If you're focused on condemnation, on anger, on resentment, on hate, who are you following? You're following the ego's guidance. And so just make a note of whose guidance you're following, because that will show you if you're headed towards the light or you're headed towards further darkness. And so choose your guide wisely. Okay, that's point number 4. And the last point is always remember, whatever it is that you support with your time, focus, and energy, you strengthen and reinforce within you. So if you keep on reinforcing that those thoughts and energies of judgment, of resentment, of guilt, shame, any of that negative stuff, you become more and more part of that darkness if you focus on it. But you can also remember that you have the free will to choose once again, to choose the light instead of the darkness, to choose peace instead of pain. And so let us today choose compassion instead of condemnation. And by doing so, we reinforce the I forgive myself. We reinforce that compassion and we strengthen that within us. And guess what? The more we do so, the more natural and normal this behavior becomes. The more natural and normal it is to follow God's guidance. The more natural and normal it becomes to be the light of the world. The more natural and normal it becomes, to forgive those who the ego insists that you judge and condemn. No, I forgive them. And now I hold them within me with love. And by doing so, I return to peace. And by doing so, I become a brighter light in this world. I become the light that God created me to be, for all of us to be. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like, comment, or share, it would help with the listening process and it might help somebody release that condemnation and instead focus on their compassionate nature, who God created them to be. Thank you for that. Thank you for your time. I love you very much, and God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.